And the Mew
The
has
problem,
total cards in existence. They're not all things.
holy shit, I see where your head's at. So
You
you
understand?
see that thing that has had organic growth over time because you said it's an old card, right? So it's been through ebbs and flows, it's done its thing, but it's mature over time, and that's the price that it has established too. But the problem is time. This Mew has no time, so it's just too soon. Let's just put it that way. It's just too soon to actually establish a mature price for that, where like you could see it staying at this price for the next year or so if it doesn't get pumped, if it doesn't get dumped. Meaning if it
All right.
doesn't go up or if it doesn't go down. Till we don't know that, it's super
Here's my thing.
risky.
Here's my
And
thing.
see, the only reason I don't like it is because I don't like kind of giving the impression that it's a good idea to go for these things because it's so new that you don't know if it could go up, you don't know if it could go down. It's a Mew, so it most likely probably will go up.
All
Um,
right.
and it's a
Three things.
serialized card that more than likely would go up, but you don't
Three
know.
things.
Charted
Three things.
territory. Go ahead.
All right. First thing. You say, what if it gets dumped or whatever? How can it get dumped when it's such a finite supply? If it were to be dumped, those buyers that were in the auctions that lost out on them are going to be the first to go out there to try to scoop them up. If the price goes down, everybody that saw an established price that was already trying to invest into it is going to say, yo, dog, that's a deal. This shit was 8 grand. Some motherfucker has it for 6 grand. I can make 2 grand easily because just a few months ago, this is what it was at, and only so many exist. You get me? Um, Also, with other serialized cards, how can you say, oh, the market went down, so this card is worth less if there's no sales? There's nothing empirically historical in the data to suggest, well, this card is worth less now because everything else in the market is worth less. If everything in the market crashes, but that market is still alive and they're still pumping out new product, if you have one of these serialized cards, one of these super exclusive cards, as long as nobody else is selling, which is easy to do with such a small supply, you do not lose money because the last sale is still going to be what supports your price point. Last sale might be 5, 10 fucking years ago because maybe we entered 3 to 5 years of a bad market, but the last sale was 3 to 5 years ago. That's what it's fucking worth because you cannot prove, well, there was this other sale and it's worth half of what that was worth.
That's
It's
not true.
it's a serialized card. There's no other sales to show it's worth less. The last one is at this price point. What's the next sale going to be? Those people hold out until they reach that point. Then they sell further, strengthening the value of that card and showing this is our new floor now.
Yes, but also that can happen vice versa. It could happen where, see, you're right about the whole, let's say a card hasn't been sold in 3 years, and the
Mhm.
last price point is typically what people go by.
Yep.
Yes, you're right in theory. It's just that, let's say, for example, if you're in a bear market, meaning like Pokemon's dead, there's supply everywhere, people aren't that interested at the time. At that specific time, maybe someone's not really going to be interested, but it's because in general people are not interested. So it
Yeah.
could be that they would try to underball that price point, especially if it's an auction where people generally tend to get auctions at 70% in a bear market,
Yeah.
right?
But
Uh, that's tricky.
but a bear market signifies that there isn't that much hype. There isn't that much concern. There isn't that much people wanting that card, right? But with those types of cards, you're not in it for a bear market or a bull market. It's for the exclusivity of the card. It's because it's that serialized card. Again,
That's the point.
you're not investing in the market because the market's doing good. It's you knowing the IP, the intellectual property. Is Pokemon dead or is it going to go another 10, 20 years, baby? If it's going to go another 10, 20 years, shit, maybe you park some money. That's
And
what the
that's my
fuck it is.
point. And see, that's where we get to where I don't believe in the longevity of it all. You know,
That's
so
why I asked
it's
you,
like,
how much longer will Pokemon go? Because it felt to me that we're getting towards the end of the fucking thing. But I know Merc was like, nah, we still got plenty of time to go. So Merc believes in Pokemon as an intellectual property. You don't believe in Pokemon as an intellectual property. I'm still undecided. You get me? I feel everything is ramping up to the sunset arc because we're nearing the end of it.
How?
However, others feel otherwise
Why though? What's the
because
indicators
they're
to you?
throwing all the fucking gimmicks from back in the day because
They
they're
are,
rehashing
aren't
everything.
they?
I've said
Yeah,
that
but
several times before. As an author, as a fucking writer, I would only do that when I'm recapping the story, when I'm getting ready to fucking put the grand finale to give you that, hey, remember this from season one?
the
Yeah,
company that's
you fucking
making the most
remember.
money it's ever made since its inception,
Did Teeny
that's
Babies
doing
make the most
better
money
than
ever at the
that's
end of
doing
the
better
market or the
than
beginning of the
Disney
market?
that's lasted 100 years. I don't. That's completely captivated an entire country on the other side
Wait,
of the world. I don't know.
I cut you off there. I cut you off. Could you repeat that? Because I spoke over you.
Like what? So you're okay. Disney's it, they're making more money than they ever have, right? Since its
Pokemon.
inception. Pokemon, correct. Right. So
Yeah.
they've captivated an entire country, Japan,
Wait,
and us
wait,
as well.
wait. For the first point that you
Hang
said
on,
they're
hang
making the
on.
most money ever.
Disney has lasted they're far they're far larger than Disney, and Disney has lasted 100 years. So
Is it far
what is your
larger than
reason
Disney?
for
Is it
retelling the
far larger than
story?
Disney?
Just gives a chance for another story, right? Like you visit what you
Well,
had in order to recreate another, right?
yeah. But three
Usually,
things. Three things. Is it larger than Disney when Disney is more well world known because Pokemon is still tapping into markets it has not tapped into, while Disney already has established foothold in those markets? Number two, Disney. Tell me after
in
its
what
Marvel
markets?
Cinematic Studios that Pokemon still makes
Yeah,
more.
but all the
Did
Marvel
Pokemon
actors are
make more
leaving
than what
Disney,
Avengers
and
make?
they're going
Huh?
to all the Marvel actors that the Avengers people are leaving Disney to go to Warner Brothers, I think, or not Warner Brothers, but
Yeah.
whoever else does it. So it's like they're
But when we
it's
look at
taken 100
historically how
years
much
for
they
them
made,
to start to concave on themselves, right? So it, at least Pokemon has that long, I would think.
and then
I
my
mean,
third
unless
point,
the fucking future
teeny,
is just. I mean, of course we
all right,
can't tell,
teeny
but
babies.
my opinion.
Teeny babies before its collapse, wasn't it making the most money right before its collapse? That's when it was most hype. That's when it was its most lucrative. Teeny babies did not start out making a shit ton of money. It
Beanie
incrementally
Babies.
grew. Then it was at its height. Then it broke. It collapsed. A lot of things get to their height, then they collapse. We're at Pokemon in its height. It could collapse. I'm not saying it will. It could. Tread carefully.
Did they open the floodgates and that caused the
What
crash in Beanie
floodgates though?
Babies?
Cause yeah,
Let me
for
see.
Beanie Babies.
Yeah. What is?
Because they've opened these floodgates, and then it's still we're hitting a dam.
Well, I don't
He's
think
not gonna be here,
Pokemon
Gonzo.
right now. They don't have any. They don't show any sign of slowing down right now. Yeah, the gimmick stuff is over the top, but I don't. I mean, maybe they're just throwing. They ran out of ideas, so they're throwing all these gimmicks at us so they can regroup and get more creative. It says early
But it's also
scarcity.
what we wanted to see. Sorry,
You're good.
like we wanted these old things back. That's what we've been asking for. That's what they've given us. Go ahead, FOMO.
You're good. It says early scarcity drove demand, hype fueled by media and resellers. Oversupply killed the market. So it wasn't floodgates. It was just they printed so much, they started churning and burning through this, and then the bubble burst. That's different.
Yeah, I mean,
And Pokemon doesn't really show any sign of that. The amount of people in this hobby is ridiculous compared to what it was last boom.
yeah,
But
maybe compare Beanie Babies to Pokemon
does that
plush.
make me nervous? Nervous? Not yet. I mean, if we got to the point where the amount of people in this hobby was like twice as much, maybe then I'd be like sweating my ass off. But I don't know. It's just because when there's that much people in the hobby, the crash is just more likely to be that much more aggressive
But that's
unless we have a buffer. Like all of a sudden something happened and it prevented the crash, or while the crash is happening, it stabilized it.
Would the
Let's put it that
buffer
way.
would the buffer be sealed product then?
The
All right.
buffer last boom, I would say was
I was, I,
Logan Paul
I was about to
because
say,
he got a lot of high end
The buffer from
people.
keeping it collapsing?
Exactly. And where it collapsed in modern, it didn't collapse in vintage. And vintage went to the moon, you know? And that's probably what's missing this boom, that now we're starting to see vintage starting to pop off. It's probably because maybe there wasn't enough influence or hype until recently. I know Logan Paul was in a video, but like I said before, I know he influences. I just don't think he influences as much as he used to.
Well, it's just
all right.
trickling into other
Quick
stuff,
question:
right? There's just inverted
When
last
did
boom.
when did the last boom end? I want to see we're on the same fucking place here.
I
I
think it was
say it
November
ended
2022.
around Silver Tempest era.
Well, Vivid
I
Voltage
can't
held
quite
strong
remember. I
until it
Huh?
remember
didn't.
Z&G had my slabs, and I
So
lost my ass in Pokemon.
yeah, so exactly though. But let's narrow it down first of all. The last boom, when did it end? Because I think it was around Silver Tempest era, maybe the one right before Silver Tempest.
Where are we
Let
going?
me know if I'm right. Huh?
May Silver Tempest. I don't that it
I
trickled
don't
off
know,
before
bro.
then, like the official boom. It was like Vivid Voltage, Rebel Clash, Darkness Ablaze, Champion's Path, all that era, early Sword and Shield, and
I
then
think we were
midway it kind
still
of
in the
trickled off, right?
Sorry.
So the original
Because we
boom
had
didn't
$80
include
booster
Evolving
boxes.
Skies. Evolving Skies was not a part of the original boom.
It was
It was, but they reprinted the crap out of it a
well, it
few
was
All right,
times.
so
blessed from the start.
Evolving Skies, when it released, right? Did it release in the middle of the boom or did it release pre-boom?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think Vivid Voltage caused the boom. I
Vivid
think.
Voltage was before
There,
Evolving Skies.
Right.
Vivid
there you
Voltage
go.
as a set came out first.
Yeah.
So that means Evolving Skies was supposed to be out during a boom, but you could buy the booster box at $140, $144, which was under MSRP of 160.
I don't think Evo
So
Scott.
how was Evolving Skies in a boom back then
I don't think it
compared to
was.
now?
I don't think it was. It was.
It was
It
very
was COVID.
popular.
Was when the
It
boom
wasn't
caused.
COVID.
booming.
Yeah.
So
2020,
And
2021 trickled off
when they
2022.
reprinted it, it dropped to like 200 bucks. Was it 200 or was it 150? I can't remember. But see, MSRP
all right,
wasn't 160 back then.
no, but this is what I'm trying to say. All right, first let's establish when the last boom was. If it was during the COVID times, it was before Evolving Skies and all that, right? But yet, like let's look at how everything's done post boom, right? And let's look at how it did during the last boom, and let's compare them to how they're doing during this boom.
To get it what
If
though? Like what?
if all right, because to see more or less how long that boom cycle lasted, how long after that boom cycle lasted, these sets did. Did all the growth come after the end of the boom cycle? Because if the boom cycle ended before Evolving Skies was not in the boom, but Evolving Skies is crazy high now. Do we contribute all Evolving Skies game to this boom? If it was doing crazy stupid before the boom, that means Evolving Skies was post boom and before the boom. So Evolving Skies, one of the best performing sets, was not even a part of either boom. It was not during the last boom. It's not during this boom, but it still did crazy stupid high, right?
Yeah, but
Well,
it's yeah.
that was during the
It's an
boom.
outlier though. I mean, it's
That was a part of the boom. That was a
That's
contributing factor to the boom because they
but
announced the Evolution set and Rayquaza set. And obviously, they didn't announce it like that day. They announced it months earlier. So you already know the hype was building up. And then they
but
announced a Pikachu Vivid Voltage set. You can
no,
already see where the hype was building up.
Vivid Voltage was before Evolving Skies, though, so there's no way they could
What
have
is it?
announced Evolving Skies before Vivid Voltage.
No,
The Vivid Voltage was already out and it was on the market
they
when Evolving
announced
Skies got
sets.
announced.
They announced sets months before they are released.
Yeah, but the difference between Vivid Voltage and Evolving Skies is over half a year. So Vivid Voltage
Oh,
had been
okay,
out.
okay, that's different. I thought it was like Vivid
That's
Voltage, then Evolving Skies. So it was like a while in between. Okay, I got you.
And then this is the thing. If
Okay.
Evolving Skies was in a boom, why wasn't it over MSRP? During this boom, everything's over MSRP, right? Nothing's MSRP. MSRP's dead, right? End of MSRP.
It
But
was over MSRP. They had
Evolving
to
Skies,
reprint
one of
it.
the best sets during the last boom. It wasn't MSRP. It was not, right? Because there was a bunch of people that got it at 140, 160. They got it below MSRP, right? And
Evo, if you
this
got
boom makes
lucky on
everything
Evo
crazy,
Skies.
right? Huh?
If you got lucky, you got Evo Skies at that price. That was no, it
Yeah,
was
that's
always
not.
doing well from the start. It was its own thing. We had Lost Origin, Silver Tempest, Brilliant Stars, all that shit got reprinted. Evo Skies
Yeah.
got a little reprint, but stood on its own.
I remember when Evo Skies got a reprint when I was collecting Sword and Shield. It was like at 180 or 200 a box when it got a reprint.
Yeah, but that was compared. MSRP was still high price because that was
160.
compared to $70 booster boxes at that time. So you're looking at
But
70,
70 was
75,
never
80
MSRP.
compared to one. I
That
know,
was
but
never MSRP.
MSRP never matched. Everything was below MSRP. MSRP was
Yeah.
expensive at that point.
And why
So
was it below MSRP? Because it was in a bear market prior to
But
that.
wait. But this is beautiful. This is where I'm going. You're in my mindset. Why is there cards that during the last boom cycle they were much higher than during this boom cycle? If this boom cycle's higher, if everything's crazy, if MSRP is no longer a thing, why is it that certain cards were doing much better during the last time instead of this one? If we're not dying, if the hobby is still going much better, if everything's incrementally growing, there is things that didn't recover from the last boom cycle either.
Because demand's different this time. There's other things that people are looking at.
and a lot of these people don't have the price memory that we have.
Price memory.
That
Price
that
memory.
It doesn't. They
There
came
we
into
go.
everything expensive, and that's what it is. So they're.
There we go.
But I mean, I don't know. So
All right.
what?
So they came in.
Is there a question?
Everything was expensive, right? Wait. They came in. Everything's expensive. So that's the new norm. Everybody comes in. They know it's expensive. Does that necessarily mean everybody's putting a bunch of money into Pokemon because they want to, or does it mean, well, they kind of just agree and yeah, it's true. Everything's expensive. We just got in. We
No, we went
understand.
from
They just accepted it.
opening
You get
Pokemon
me?
cards to like the
And
culture
if
was.
that's the case,
We're investor
if
culture
that's
now.
the case,
We're moved.
if that's the case, and you couple that with what iFOMO said, where they're throwing all the gimmicks back at us because they ran out of ideas. So they ran out of ideas. People are naturally just paying more because they're used to coming in and everything's overinflated. I still say, to me, that sounds like it could be the sunset arc and the peak where we're about to see the fall
oh,
eventually.
You're
for
Dustin.
sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you
Yeah,
Dustin
yeah,
because
I
You
can
see
see
what
it.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
I can see
don't.
that.
No.
Yeah. Dude, it makes perfect sense.
The
See,
sunset arc to the complete existence of
I'm just saying.
Pokemon.
this will not be the doom of
Developing
it all.
brand new games
No,
as we speak, unreleased, and we're sunset arcing. I don't know. I don't know.
it does seem like that, but
I'm
they
On the
will
30th
return.
anniversary, 30 years, long enough. We're
The Timbers will return.
the culture
It
that never
happened
gives up.
with
I guess so.
stop them, bro. But yeah, I can see it's that to them the price of all this stuff feels normal. So like it says $90 on the label, to them it's like, well, fuck, look at that Lugia, it's so blue. Of course it looks like $90. But we know because we saw that car priced at freaking $2 3 years ago, and we know better. But they don't. So it's just lack of information, lack of knowledge.
And
Um,
TCG player only goes back, what, a year? So most people, when you
yeah,
look
no.
at historical data, you're looking at the data for a year. You're not looking at the data for 2, 3 years, 5 years. If it's a set that's been released for 10 fucking years, show me the historical data for 10 years and show me how that card's been.
Yeah, good. Well said. Uh,
And now, couple that with what you said earlier. Remember how you said when a card is too new, there's a difference between organic growth or non-organic growth. What if we're looking at it this way? No matter what you see, all the growth for every card is just a 1 year period because the data that's being provided is the
Imagine,
data over the course of 1 year. So what
good.
is truly
That
organic
imagine the
if you're
hit.
not looking at a 14-year graph? You're just looking at 1 year for everything, and it's this current year. You're not looking at a year in a different point where maybe on that 14-year graph there was a different year where that was the best year for that card, and now it's not doing so hot. Like, we're just looking at this 1 year of data for every card
Right.
all the time when we're doing different transactions.
Imagine the
It's
economic
because
hit Japan would take if Pokemon fell, like just as a country. Like,
you have
Well,
Toyota.
that's a pretty big deal.
this is also the thing, though. Wait, hear me out. You think fall means quit? It's done. They're not producing shit. I don't see fall as that. Teeny Babies is still a company. It's still making shit right now. They're still
Beanie
making
Babies.
new shit. Fall just means it's no longer the big hype. It's no longer the big investment vehicle. People move on and go to something else. It's no longer the big hot shit.
See,
That's
I
what
think
I'm saying.
I
It
think
doesn't
we're
mean it's done.
I think
You
the,
could still make side stories. It
Mm.
just won't be as popular. It won't be as loved.
I think the
It
jig
won't
is
be.
up and everybody's aware, and then it's gonna continue this way. To see, like, there's no, it's not just hold it long enough, it's gonna go up. How much can they possibly? It's gonna take.
Well, a good thing to relate this to is tops cards. You know, tops go up, they go down, they go sideways. Right now, even though vintage is popping up, tops is cheap.
They would-
Actually, there's a Mewtwo card I want to get in a PSA 10 that's like $100. Like, hell yeah.
They
But
would,
see, that's the point. Like, certain things are too niche where they will not age over time, or maybe it'll take longer for them to build organic growth over time versus the stuff that'll stay in demand, like a basic Charizard, for example.
to
Or
get-
anything basic. It's that people open the OG stuff, and the OG stuff is base set, and that kind of triggers a wave into going and venturing into other sets, and that's just how it goes. It's just like modern. That's why you could speculate that last boom, obviously we had Sword and Shield, right? So this boom, you could have speculated that, oh, because everyone remembers Sword and Shield, that wasn't that long ago, Sword and Shield cards are going to boom again. And I don't know if they did, but they sure as hell are on the right track, you know? I think I bought a Lugia V Alt Art back then for $120, and now it's like $250 raw. And $700 on a PSA 10. Back then they were $300.
like, had like 3 or
bro.
4 run-ups by now, in different stages.
Bro, I have GX cards and XY cards in a 10 that were like dirt cheap, like the Mewtwo GX promo. The one where Mewtwo's all mad and Mew is like giggling in the back. Bro, I sold that card before the boom for $120.
Clutch the God. Labubu. No Barbies, but we got Labubus.
Go dog.
Is that real gold?
Nah, it's not real cool.
Only the best for base.
Tops. With the
There
top
ain't no
shit, you
ladies.
got me thinking about the junk wax shit. And that would, in order for that to happen, they would have to not adjust their print runs. Like after all, whenever this shit goes away, right? That's what it would take. But I would think they would notice, right? Like, I think they're
Could
good
you-
at. I think they're good. I think Pokemon is good enough to avoid a junk wax because they can just tell how much shit is being bought, right?
All right.
And they would
I
have
like
to
the
consistently. They would have to put out keep putting out a shit ton in order, while no one is here, to create a junk wax zero, right? And I think they're too good at
No.
adjusting
Essentially-
what they're doing.
Too many
It would
people
get
have to
eaten up
believe in
at some
it.
point.
Too many
Sorry?
people have to believe in the statement Son of a Merc just said. Like
What
you
do you mean?
said, it's too big. What was the statement they said? It's too big to fail, or it's. If too many people believe that and they put everything they have into it, that's what it takes to create the junk wax era. It's too many people that just put all their chips into that, and it doesn't have the payout at that point. You get me?
At what
could
point
be.
though? Like, it's gonna take, but there would have to be so much product and so
All
few
right.
people. Like, for a
about this?
consistent amount of time for it to be.
How about this?
You know what I
I got
mean?
one. Prismatic Evolutions, when it came out, a lot of content showed people were exiting the hobby, right? A lot of people were exiting because everything everywhere was getting scooped up, and you could only buy it if you got it from scalpers.
Oh,
I don't know though.
Right?
I don't know.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying, you have enough of
Yeah.
that.
Exiting or not
enough of
buying?
that for so long. enough of that for so long could create a junk wax era.
Prismatic.
You're left with nobody willing to pay for that stuff.
Oh,
Everybody's holding everything. They put all their chips into the basket. Now everything's dead. And that's what we were waiting for. Everybody said, just wait, everybody. All these scalpers, they're going to be selling shit off at a loss. You're going to be able to pick it up. Just wait. Just hold on. But people left. People went to other shit. Some people are coming back now. People are like, hey, I'm finally
So you're
finding
saying
shit
that
now.
is the
I haven't
reason it's
opened shit in
dropping?
months.
Because it's gonna go. So that's the reason it's dropping now? It's because there's not enough people and too much product? See, I think it's just gonna go up and to the right
so
again.
the way I see it is you can tell that there was definitely a loss of demand between that whole Prismatic and Journey Together period because of Journey Together release. I had never seen just so much hype turn into just a bunch of nothing when Journey Together released. And I'm just there like, buy it now on those stamped ends Reshirams, thinking that was the floor price. Oh boy, was I wrong.
We could
And
have,
dude, that was serious.
but traditionally
And
though, nobody likes trainers on the English side. Like we kind of
sure,
could have read the writing on the wall a little bit.
Well, they don't like trainers, but you look at
You're
all the
different,
damn
FOMO. You
content
like
that
in
came
and
out.
restaurant, but
All the content that came out. Oh, but they showcased the trainer on the card. Nobody remembered some of the trainer gallery cards that did the same thing in Sword and Shield. They were like, Pokemon hasn't done this since way back in the day,
plus a
showing a
small set.
Pokemon card with a trainer on it. And I was thinking, well, trainer gallery cards did it.
Well, yeah, but
it'll
it was
it'll
also
age well.
a small
That's
set.
all I'll say about that. It'll age well. It might take a while for it to go out. It's just
It's gonna be the same as Obsidian Flames. It'll do well. It's
had a,
objectively
had a
better than
weird
Obsidian,
thing.
even though Obsidian's got Ninetales in it. But I think
Bro,
it'll do good.
Ninetales is so cheap right now. You should be like hopping on that
I've got
great.
enough of them, dude.
You do.
Yeah.
I need to start buying them. I actually really, really like that card.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I'm not too sure where to go about it.
Okay, here's a question. Kind of a when everything's special. Wait, what did I? How does something remain special when everything is?
Ha! I like that. That's true. How does something remain special when everything is? When everything is special, it doesn't really feel like anything is special because that's the new norm. You must be special just to be normal, just to be a part of everything else that has come out. And now the new pattern is the special thing that keeps you a part of the special group, right? It would have to be something like super exclusive in order to remain special when everything's special. That's the way I would see it. It would have to be special and at the same time exclusive. And exclusivity is just done. Again, I've been a big proponent of it in the back, and I mean, not in the back, in the past.
Yeah.
Serialization. If you have serialization, it's a finite supply. That's true exclusivity. You cannot have more than this much, especially if you have an identifying factor to show this is not a counterfeit, like an anti-counterfeit measure in place.
Yeah.
That's what I think it would take.
Can I argue to that?
Yeah.
A lot of people in YouTube, let's call them like investors in the like vintage kind of stuff.
Okay.
They think that when you introduce serialized cards, people are gonna just kind of lose that euphoria that you just mentioned towards all the other cards, and they're only gonna be focusing on the serialized cards, kind of like what happened with Magic the Gathering and the Lord of the One Ring.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna lose interest to the rest of the set. What do you think about that?
I'm the opposite because I am a collector. I see the serialization as the grails in your collection, and you should only have serialized cards of an actual collection you currently like that you're collecting. If it's a set that you currently like, it's for an intellectual property you're a fan of. It's something that you don't mind displaying, something that you're already interested mentally and emotionally in, right? Now it turns out there's a serialized card in there. Oh shit, that's your super chase. because you're a fan, because it means something to you, because in your collection, that's what's going to stand out. Everything else is like the army behind it, and that's the general at the front of your little army.
If we see
How do
serialized
you
cards
feel?
and sets, then we're towards the end.
Sorry.
That's my opinion.
How would you
Well,
feel though, knowing that all these investors are in this space, like trying to get your serialized cards?
that makes me feel
Theoretically.
good. That makes me feel like if I actually find one, I can get the hell out of poverty, get rid of it, and get a house. That's what it fucking feels like. It's a goddamn lottery ticket. You know what I mean?
Very
Give
nice.
me my jackpot, baby.
I don't think
I
anybody
mean,
would
yeah,
find it because nobody would open anything as far as Pokemon
if
goes.
if you get it and demand is that high because people see financial opportunity in it, then by all means, make your paper.
Just keep it out of the main sets. You can have your promos.
It's like Lord of the Rings though. Didn't sorry, not Lord of the Rings, Magic. Didn't they make a new set with Final Fantasy where there's this chicken that's
Yeah.
golden or something? Is that
The
Golden
serialized?
golden chicken.
Chocobo?
Yeah, is that serialized?
Yeah, it is serialized. And it's the
Bro.
big shit.
Yeah,
Clutch the
and people
God
are
said
all over that.
Clutch the God said in chat, I'm going
Cereal.
Final
Yeah,
Fantasy now a little bit
exactly.
ago.
Hey. Yeah, we had a
Oh,
trend into that topic real
Clutch
quick.
Clutch the God. There was cards in cereal. Kellogg's. I got some of them. Pokemon cards.
Fruit
Galarian
roll-ups as well.
Ponyta came out in the Kellogg's cereal boxes from Walmart a few years ago.
Did
What's
it
it
come with
called?
a
Because he
stamp,
said
like a Kellogg stamp?
I've got one of the
um,
EVs.
it has a different hollow pattern. That's how you could tell what it
Wow.
is. I think it's a sequin hollow pattern. Yeah.
Cool. I dig those like niche things that, especially if it comes like out of a cereal box or something old that I used to like. Those
Oh
what are
shit.
they called? All I remember getting from cereal boxes back when I was a kid was these crappy CDs where you got to play these crappy computer games. Oh my god,
The
bro.
spoons with the
And then you
straw.
could enter the sweepstake. And I lived in
Star
Honduras,
Wars
so
one.
I don't know how the hell I was gonna get to the United States.
FOMO. I got a good one, and I'm putting you on the spot here, buddy, and
Oh, what
not in a
happened?
bad, in a good way.
Hmm?
You say the damn Mew is overpriced. My question to you, FOMO, what is the fair price? Tell me what the fair price is on that
What's
card,
the price right
and
now?
show me why or how. Prove it behind your statement.
What's it at?
I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research.
Okay,
First, let me see how much this is going for, and
but wait,
I need to verify the pop.
before you do research, I want one thing
Hmm.
before you do research. Before you look
Hmm.
into anything, what do you think it should be worth right now, emotionally, off the top of your head? How
Let
much
me
should it be
look
worth?
at it.
No, no,
Let
no,
me
no,
look at it.
no.
I'm
Look
not
it.
gonna look at. Bro, I can't.
The first one
Uh,
isn't whether you're right or wrong. The second one is your educated answer. This first one is just a baseline. I want to see where you stand without doing the research. Then I want to see you do your research, see where you stand after, and then I want to see if it's changed at all.
does it have texture? It doesn't
Um,
have texture, right?
I think it
I
does
think
have
it
texture.
does.
It
Yeah.
does? Okay. Hmm. I kind of, to me, it kind of reminds me of
I might be wrong.
the Latias EX, the expensive one from Surging Sparks,
Okay.
but cuter. So I'd say a little bit more expensive than that. Would I pay 250? Like the Pikachu?
We're talking about the Mew?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm talking about the Mew.
the serialized
Yeah,
Mew.
that's
We're
how
gonna
much I
call it
think it's.
serialized.
And it looks
I
like
know it's not serialized, but it's a finite supply. We're just gonna refer to it as serialized
it
for
should
the
be
time being.
15K, 15-1. Yeah.
100, 1,500, not
No,
15K.
15K and $100. Yep.
So you say
151.
15,
Yep.
1,500?
And
Okay,
one.
so Merc says 1,500,
15,
and you said
15,000.
$250.
I'd say like,
$15,100.
I'd say it's, let's average it out and say like $300.
All right, $300 for iFOMO.
That's generous.
Wait, all right. So let's wait. Let's wait before we go anywhere. You're telling me that fucking card is you have to have a few of these serialized Mews to trade for a fucking raw moon bunny? and it's fair.
Oh, I don't think that fucking Umbreon is worth
But
what it
but
is.
all right. Wait. Before we go further, you don't think the Moon Bunny's worth that? But historical data, not manipulation, puts that Moon Bunny at its current value. Correct or incorrect?
Oh,
Correct
yeah,
or incorrect?
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
With the Moon Bunny being worth what it's worth, you just told me this fucking card is worth $300. You're telling me I need a few of those serialized Mews for a fucking Moon Bunny to be fair. I'm just saying. That's what you're saying.
Well, that's my personal opinion.
Why?
Okay.
Yes.
Why
Okay.
though?
Cool.
For what it is,
There we
three hundred
fucking go.
dollars is
There we
because it's
For
fucking
what
go.
Chinese.
it is. It's just a fucking card, man.
Serialization, exclusivity.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but I don't view serialization as crazy as you guys do then.
But the market does it.
Sure, but I don't speak for the market.
But the market says what's fair, and you believe the market. The
but you
market
want
speaks for you.
serialized, right?
Yep.
I'm
You would
not
like
actively
ser-
seeking.
Okay.
You want
Card.
exclusivity. Dallas One Piece exclusive.
I didn't buy that card.
You would like it,
You didn't
but
buy
you
the Dallas
value
one?
it
Oh,
less.
you mean this one?
I
Yeah, the
don't
Oh,
want
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
and value it more.
Dallas
I thought you said Dodgers. My bad.
So
Yeah, but see, this card,
make me understand, FOMO.
this was $50. I
All
mean,
right.
at one point, now it's like 70. Well, now it's $80. Now it's $90.
right. Not limited to 1,500 copies, is it?
It has much less graded in a PSA 10. So, I mean, let's
How many overall?
let's look it up actually because
Yeah.
sold. Obviously, it's not the right number because there's
And again,
sold on eBay and then sold on TCG Player.
and
So,
again, I need to say this so chat understands. Me and iFOMO are not fighting. We're not arguing.
nah,
We're
no, no,
literally just having a debate. All right, we're fucking friends. Like we're mad tight. So before anybody worries about me being mad or I'm getting a little animated because I feel strongly about this point in this conversation. But I am not mad at iFOMO. He's not mad at me. We're just debating, and this is me being excited. Okay. So I needed to get that disclaimer out because I feel like I'm getting a
I
little
know.
loud.
I think they know.
dude, don't worry
Everybody's
about it.
they're
The
fucking.
more heated, the better. 'Cause
Yeah,
I've been
but you
bored.
get me? And again, we're just trying to make it sense because I don't understand that, and I'm trying to fucking wrap my head around it.
See, this is where things get weird with this card because the total amount sold on TCG Player is 256.
What card?
And
What card?
This one.
Luffy, the Luffy.
Okay, so all right, I gotta write shit down. 256
Yeah,
of the
right.
Dallas Luffy sold, right?
Yeah, 256 on TCG Player.
Okay, TCG player, cool.
Now on eBay, I don't know if I can pull that number up, but I mean, could we just kind of assume that
No
2/3
assumptions.
were
No
sold on
assumptions.
eBay?
Nope, no assumptions. eBay's worldwide. No assumptions.
And how the hell
TCG
can we figure out the number?
eBay has to give you the number, or there has to be some sort of fucking website that has the data. That's the only way. If you can't figure out the number, we're gonna assume infinite because it's out of our control. It's a non-variable.
It's not because it's a limited promo.
How many?
Okay,
How
let's
many
see.
total? How many total of the limited promo?
Let's see.
What are we talking about?
I'm not
We're on
sure.
my conversational point about how much the Mew should be worth.
Okay,
You
going
said
back.
$1,500 was your roof, right? Merc and FOMO $300.
No, 15K.
Oh, 15 grand?
$15,100. 151.
Okay. My bad.
But that's absurd. Is it though? I don't think so.
No, I think I like your answer, Merc, because I was saying it's at least worth 10 grand. That's my personal opinion. At least a $10,000 card, raw, just raw, not PSA 10, $10,000 card, based on what I think you could do with it. Were you to grade it and actually get the 10 out of that card being so exclusive?
Yeah, this is not helping. It's telling me that they've sold 180 to 270 estimated circulation. So
That's it. So
it's saying estimated total promos printed likely 2 to 300.
So that means that could be true. If you have 300 of the card, but that card moves 200
But
times.
do the people
That's
care
true.
enough?
See, that's my point. And this card, I had to buy out this card in order for it to become $90.
Wait, you just said it. Is the
I'm
card worth
just
90? Because you had to buy it out. You had to buy all of them. You had to get all of them for it to be worth 90. It's not fucking worth 90 if you had to do that because you
Yeah,
manipulated the market.
I'm not really
It is not?
arguing that.
It is
Yeah.
I'm
not.
arguing, what I'm arguing the fact that the Mew, there's less of this than there is your Mew essentially.
Is there?
And this thing is the lowest
Wait.
listed party. At one point,
But-
it was $40.
But the Dallas promo, how did you get the Dallas promo? How were you able to get it upon release?
eBay.
You could only get it through eBay when it came out. You weren't.
Yeah.
So One Piece released it through fucking eBay, and you bought it through eBay.
Yeah.
Well, they
So
released it
it's-
through
It's an eBay collab.
Dallas, right?
No, it was a Dallas
Promo.
Okay.
event
So in
collaboration.
the
for
fucking
One Piece
Dallas
event.
event, how many people were present in that event? How many cards were made for that event? If it had 50,000 fucking people in attendance, there's 50,000 goddamn cards out there.
The world
We
may
can
never know.
figure
No, we could know.
I know,
It's a
but
paid event.
I know, but damn, that's a lot.
But
I mean, it is.
That's a big
yeah.
difference from 200 to 300, homie. I'm just saying.
Headphones are. But the clutch is cracking me up.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. That face got me.
Re-registration.
Chug Nasty, I like what he said. It's worth what it is. I agree, but it's about finding out what it's worth.
Yeah.
that's the hard part. But it is worth what it is. It is. It's worth what someone's willing to pay for it, which is what one of the things I've been saying. That's why I'm
So-
always saying it's about not
So now we're
putting
at
it out
1,000.
in the market. Huh?
1,000. Now we're at 1,000 people
at 1,000?
attending the event.
So 1,000 people attended the event. Okay.
How many Mega Rays have you been buying? FOMO.
I have like 12.
Good.
I'm considering getting more, but I'm in no rush. They're gonna go down a little bit more before somebody buys them out again. They're already at 30. Wink, wink.
The PSA 10s, dude, have doubled to tripled over like
Yeah.
a couple fucking weeks.
Yep.
Is that your doing?
They got bought out nicely.
What else you been looking at? Anything specific?
No, because I did that buyout of this card, and I don't really want
Dallas
to
card.
spend any more money. Like all my money now is accounted for the PSA submissions. I kind of want to leave it like that, so I don't have to worry about any risky plays and having to leverage stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm really upset over that booster box that I have, that booster case that I have right here, because all of a sudden it's just stagnating. And I think that's just because of like the summer downturn, because as much as you
One Piece.
guys don't know, there is a summer downturn in One Piece. Even though I might not feel it, One Piece is kind of lackluster right now. So
Those leaks I've been seeing though are fucking beautiful. So there's hope.
they're doing everything correctly. It's
Yeah.
just the One Piece community does not have money right now.
Clutch the God just said he did a buyout of Reshiram. Amazing rare. Hope it goes to the moon. I agree, buddy. I actually like
kidding.
these rare cards. I have one copy of each from a Mr. set. I probably have a couple of random copies here and there that I pulled as extras, unsorted through my like bins of cards. I don't really like buyout cards. I mean, you guys already know I don't really buy a bunch of copies of cards, but I still like it when they go up in value because I got some cards. If my small amount of copies go up in value, I'm fucking happy with it. You know what I mean? My collection grows. It has more value. That's good. If I liquidate it in the future, hell yeah, dude.
They did amazing rare Rayquaza wrong. He looks goofy.
All
I
right,
feel
but
like that's the play. One Piece art blows Pokemon art out of the water. I agree. Actually, have you guys seen the new One Piece with those the thick edges, and they made them metallic, so it kind of looks like those Dragon Ball cards?
Oh,
Have you
it's
seen that?
like
That looks so cool.
embossed, right? Embossed.
Yes,
Yeah.
bro, it looks great. I'm like, okay, there
This guy.
every like handful of sets, like every 3 or 4 sets, they decide to like really switch it up when it comes to the cards.
Yeah.
I dig it.
All right.
It's just it's gonna saturate everything.
Gomo,
Well,
I want to get back to my
I'll figure
original
it out.
question though,
Yeah.
because we only got halfway through it, right?
Where
We
are
got
we
halfway
at?
through it. You gave us what your, I'm gonna call it uneducated because it was prior to the research. Now it's
It's
gonna
rough.
be the
Yeah.
educated answer. Go ahead and do your research. See what the card's at right now because you were gonna look up that sales data. Because again, I want to see if you change your mind and do think, oh, maybe that card is worth a little bit different. And remember, I don't have that fucking card. I can't afford it. That card is worth what a fucking
Bro.
car is worth. I would rather get
Nobody
a car
cares.
than that card right
How much of the hobby do you think is accelerated lately? Just in general, all the cards around us. High tier, low tiers.
now. All right.
So that's
So what
really
do you
just
mean
what
by
that
acceleration in the hobby?
just the amount of growth from everything.
Oh, the growth has been incremental, like on a large scale. I would say definitely. Um, definitely.
Is that what you want him to say, Base? 1 million.
1 million? Shit, that would be cool, but yeah, I don't think it's worth 1 million yet. Like I don't know, man. Shit, that would be fucking nice, but I don't think it's worth 1 million. I wanna see a price point that's established by somebody where they go, this is historically based off of this. This is what it should be because it's on the same tier as this. To the point where I'm like, I see it and I comprehend it, and I'm like, all right, that's a fair price point. I want to see somebody almost convince me in a way what the price point should be, if that makes any sense. Rather than a theoretical, it should be because of this. I kind of want to see like a concrete, it should be this because of this.
I
You know?
don't think we're smart enough.
No, because there's no other card like this.
Yeah, there's
I mean,
nothing
there
that
is
was.
Well,
other cards.
there is.
It's just they've
I
all done. They all have. They all have time on their hands because it doesn't matter what card we bring up, it's gonna be older than this card. You know.
How much do you
I
Yeah.
think
don't
it's
know
worth, Base?
what I can give you that would
well,
be similar to this.
I said it. I think it's worth at least 10K raw.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, 10K raw. So basically, if you have like, I think if you have 5, 6, or 7 moon bunnies, that's what it's worth.
Well, according to this, it's 8.3 in a PSA 9.
8.3 in the PSA 9, and PSA 9 is almost always raw price. So in
Pretty
my
much.
head,
Although with this, I would assign a premium because of what it is. So I
okay,
think like $300 is a pretty good premium. So I'd still say 8K, you know?
yeah.
Yeah, but
So
people know what they
8K
got.
is what it's at right now. I think it's undervalued. I think there's room to grow. I think 8K for that is a good fucking deal. If I had 8K available, I'd fucking buy it at 8 grand without breaking a sweat, without thinking twice, and I'd turn around and fucking grade it.
I hope it comes out in
Even
English.
if it does bad,
Just fuck
I'm just
everybody
gonna
up.
grade it.
I hope it comes out in English. Just fuck everybody. Like just
Oh,
everybody's
dude, that
pockets.
would be so funny if they
It's kinda
printed the
messed up,
living
but-
crap in
Yeah.
English.
It would be funny.
I don't think they'll do it though. That has
How
a
much?
print.
How much would it be going if it was an English card? So, Shug,
I love
if
these
it was an English card and that
big ass
exclusive,
top loaders.
oh, I don't know, man. 25K instead of 10K,
No.
25K.
I can't afford that, Baze. Say $3.
Yeah.
Damn it. Nah, then I'd really be like, yeah, 300.
Nikita, come here. Come here.
Um, okay, so what
There
the
we go.
what the
Look,
facts
cat,
say is to
cat.
me that it's okay.
There we go. This is Nikita. She's my short-haired Russian blue. Say hi to Clutch the God. It's okay, baby. What's wrong? What's wrong? Yeah.
Is
There
that
we
a
go.
Eddie? Is that a screen or a poster back there with the kitty?
That's a screen. That's my TV, bro.
Okay.
It's on my channel. I froze it on the short just so it like not be off.
It looks like it's throwing me off a little. It looks good, but like you can see how it looks kind of. It could
It's a
be
video
a
short
picture.
from a
Maybe I'm just
collab I
tripping.
did with UPB, and in the video it actually has like that cut in the middle, like it shows me with the cat on one side, UPB on the other, so that's why it looks weird like that.
Oh, I see your wanted. I see it now. The wanted picture
Yeah,
behind
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Oh, that's Lilith.
That's Lilith.
I'm
Yeah,
an
that's the other
idiot.
cat.
I get it now.
Come here.
He's gonna have to sell his whole.
Let me go get Nikita. Baby, come here.
The little boo boos.
Okay, it's okay. There we go.
Are you actively
There we
hunting
go.
the boo boos now?
I'm at. No, it's. I have a few Pop Mart vending machines near me.
Mhm.
Whenever I find stuff in stock, I'll grab it. Yeah, it just makes sense. I do like certain ones. The Coca-Cola ones, those are all mine. I like those a lot.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
The Wacky Mart ones, those are for Yesenia. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the One Piece one. I might give it away. I have a One Piece one. I just got that one because of iFOMO, because he's really into One Piece. So I figured it'd be cool to run on a stream.
yeah. My son's dragging a guitar behind him, so it's loud as shit.
But he's gonna have to sell his whole Barbie collection if
He's
it
singing.
releases in English. If it releases in English and I'm able to get my hands on it, I would liquidate collections of mine in order to get my hands on certain items. If that Mew card released in English, I would liquidate certain collection items. I would do what I can to get a copy.
Sell him all your. He said sell him all his cards since you're into Labubu.
Hey, I can collect more than one thing. It's called Base Showcase for a reason, man.
What?
We're also into Hot Wheels. You see all the Hot Wheels right there on the shelves.
I didn't know that Treasure Hunt Hot Wheels had that symbol on it, so I actually learned something from your short.
Yep.
I wasn't aware, cause I didn't know,
And
like when you said Treasure Hunt, I expected like those white packages behind you, like there was a difference. What's the difference? Are those white
It,
or like the classic blue Hot Wheels? Like the
so
packaging
no,
on the
no.
outside?
The packaging has changed over the years, but the big difference between the treasure hunts and the regular Hot Wheels is going to be the color scheme. They have color scheme differences and different wheels. And if you get the super treasure hunts, which have a different symbol, it's a T and an H instead of the flaming wheel. The super treasure hunts have the real riders, real rubber tires,
Okay.
and those are worth a shit ton more. Those are like those are the super exclusive. Like in a case, you have an opportunity at a super treasure hunt, but you have 2 or 3 regular treasure hunt guarantees.
I didn't even
So a
think.
super treasure hunt is like the SIR, and a treasure hunt is the IR.
So you can buy cases of random Hot Wheels,
Oh yeah,
like just the
dude.
line that they release. That's I
So
didn't know.
all
I
right,
didn't even think about that. I mean, I guess in order for a store to restock, it makes sense, but
here, perfect example. 2020 Ford Mustang Shelby GT 500. This is a mainline, not a treasure hunt. This is a car that you buy for $1 at the store. This in the secondary market sells for 10 to 20 bucks. This is a 10 to $20 fucking car that you buy for $1 at your goddamn grocery store. If you find 5 of them, you just made $100 for $5, homie. For
that's
a
better.
mainline, not a treasure hunt. So this is what people do.
It's because it's new.
Well, it's the car. It's
Okay.
the mold. It's the Shelby GT 500. It's an officially licensed product. If you're a fan of Ford, if you like that car, is it cheaper for you to spend 80 grand on the fucking car or get a goddamn Hot Wheel and display it in your office?
Yeah.
Yeah. And in the back right here, you're going to see what cases it comes from. This is going to show you what case designation it's from. Let's say it's a C case. You want to go online and order the new 2025 C case. You're going to get one that's sealed. You're going to get a couple of the main lines that are guaranteed in there, but you don't know how many of these you're going to get. You might get 1, 2, 4, 8. It's a random assortment. But this is a regular EX hit. That's what you should see it as. This is an EX hit. Treasure Hunt's an IR. Super Treasure Hunt, that's going to be your SIR.
That's pretty cool.
Nikita?
Yeah, I didn't even think about people ordering cases of Hot Wheels and digging for certain ones.
Dude, you could order a case. You could sell off 10 Hot Wheels and pay off the entire fucking case. And now you have 90 cars for free that you can go and give away at your local school. Go and give away to your fucking local daycares. Just make a kid's day. Give them a bunch of free cars. People do that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's
And
a
then-
good idea.
And if you do it as a business, there's tax write-offs that go into it. So there's lots to think about. Like, I'm not gonna get too much into that because people pay for that sort of advice. But yeah.
Well, guys, how's FOMO? How's your tortoise? Big chillin'?
Good. Just chilling outside.
Yeah.
Hot as balls, so it's like just taking shelter for like 2 hours.
So-
Actually, it only goes out for like 2 hours. 'Cause it's so
This is
hot.
one of my treasure hunts right here. This treasure hunt was selling actively for 30 to 40 bucks. I got it for $1.25 at CVS.
It's pretty cool.
Cool.
What's the guy?
This
what's
one
that
came
little?
from H Case.
What's the hippie van on the front? What is that?
The hippie van? Oh, it's a Hollywood Arts Cars. This shows the symbol for the Hollywood Arts Cars, number 7 out of 10 in that collection. There's a regular one for this. So every time you get a case, you might see this car, but you got to grab them and inspect it and see if it has the special little symbol right here to show it's a treasure hunt. Then you verify in the cart, you see the symbol, and you're like, fuck yeah, we just made some money, baby. It's that simple. It's that fucking simple. Y'all can't find trading cards? Get some fucking Hot Wheels. It's the same shit. It's another goddamn collectible market. There's so many people that buy this shit.
Every time I see a yard sale, people are like looking for the Pokemon, but really you see them like load up the back of their car with all the Hot Wheels and all that.
Yeah.
The video games and VHS tapes and stuff like that. It's straight up a collectible to a lot of people.
2018 Honda Civic Type R, $15 mainline. You could get 8 of these in a fucking case if you're lucky. $15 a pop.
Shug asked how many come in the case.
I don't remember off the top of my head. I don't
Are
buy
you-
cases right now.
So how are
I
you?
don't buy
guys,
cases right now. I go to the store.
How are you
I
picking
see
your
the case
cars
and I'll
out?
open the case.
Are you just picking treasure hunts or just ones you like, or
Bro,
how do you choose
look at
what
how many
you're
I
getting?
got. Right here on the shelves, I probably have 200 to 300 cars. Out of that, there's only like 20 treasure hunts. I get less than 10%
So
of
it's
all my Hot
kind-
Wheels are
it's
treasure hunts.
Kind of like a personal whatever you like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like certain lines. I like certain types of cars.
Yeah.
I like the classic muscle cars. I like the the Hot Wheel art cars. I like the motorcycles. I like their weird vehicles because they have helicopters and quad choppers and different things too. I like their movie line. Their movie line is one of my favorite movie lines.
Oh, really?
Check this out.
Calling out the
I
Type R.
got Bumblebee.
2017.
Bumblebee from Transformers, bro. This one is so hard to find.
That's cool.
This is a main line. I got it for $1. This was like a $30 Hot Wheel for the longest. A main line that sells for more than a fucking treasure hunt. This sells for more than a super treasure hunt because it's fucking Bumblebee from Hot Wheels. It's the actual one for the movie.
Cool.
That's cool, man. So why is this one not expensive at all? 2002 Yu-Gi-Oh! Dodge Durango, baby, with Yu-Gi on the side.
It's a Dodge Durango. Nobody likes
That's
Dodge.
why. Oh, real. I don't know why they put
if it's not a
Yu-Gi-Oh! on
Challenger
a
or Charger,
Durango.
nobody cares.
This is 02. This is 02. This was a. They had the
I got a
SRT
60
Durango.
Mustang up there. on the shelf. I got a '60s Mustang that's worth like $5, and it's a Mustang, and it's from the '60s, made in the '60s.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like, some are hit and miss. It depends on also how many of them were produced, and there's different variables. Certain molds from certain years are better. Certain molds are exclusive, and they got to retire those molds and change the mold up. Certain molds are more true to the design. There's so much that goes into it. It's just like Pokemon. You can buy everything Charizard. Some Charizard's worth
Clutch
$5.
is cracking.
Some
Yeah.
Charizard's worth 500. But if it's a Charizard, just pick it up. Pick it up if you can.
Yeah.
For Hot Wheels, if you find Mustangs, pick it up. Mustangs are cool. Mustangs don't lose their value. Like, the worst that happens, you picked up a dollar car and it's worth $2 or $3. Okay, you just went 200, 300%. You don't do that with Pokemon all the time.
All right, tell me when. Say when.
What are you doing?
Now,
Now. All right.
yeah, now.
Just pull a random card. See what we get. Dark Gyarados. Big chillin'. I don't know. So on your guys' minds, how you been this week? Anything new? I got my pawn liner in actually. Yes,
Ooh.
earlier today.
Oh, nice.
Today or yesterday. It's only 10 by 13, so I'm gonna go maybe like a foot deep, maybe 8 by 6, possibly, if my lady luck approves it. We'll see. Still like in the process of convincing the wife while trying to still kind of order stuff that's not too crazy. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's happening, and she's watching, so I'm sure I'll hear
She's
about it
down
later.
with it.
We'll see. We'll see.
Well, it looked really
I
nice
think
from
once
what you
it's
showed.
once it's done, she'll be into it.
Clutch to God. You should go get those prismatic Hot Wheels ASAP. If they have bins in your Walmart, I do want you guys to know, Hot Wheels is one of those hobbies that's like heavily scalped.
Do they have?
There's a lot of people that form groups and they go to the stores right when it opens, and daily they scour through everything. So they will pick a bunch of stuff clean.
That
But if
green
you can
tint?
get there right when they open, Clutch, you are fucking golden, my guy. If you can get there right when they open the case, you made some money. You made money, bro. Like stupid money. Like,
Can't see.
I've gone and spent $20 to $30 in Hot Wheels and came out with $300 to $500 worth of Hot Wheels, and gone to Frankensons and traded that shit in for sealed Pokemon products.
Is there Pokemon Hot
I've
Wheels?
been able to do that. So I'm just saying,
I'm sure there are.
I've been doing Hot Wheels longer than I've been doing Pokemon. And yeah.
Are there an official Pokemon Hot Wheels? Yeah. Hot Wheels.
I
Highway
think
Hauler.
there is, but I can't remember off the top of my head a certain one from a certain year. But you just showed us a little Yu-Gi-Oh one, so I'm pretty sure there's going to be like a little Pikachu mobile or something.
Yeah, there's a
They do a bunch of
18-wheeler
collabs with
and then a VW Beetle. That's pretty cool.
the VW Beetle
$72. And it's got a Pokemon
Okay.
binder picture.
So you could have picked that up for $1 at your store, and it's worth $72. What if you found 10 of them while you
Let me
were out
see.
hunting? That's how easy it is, baby. It's that fucking easy.
This one right here. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's
Let's freaking go, bro.
the
Really
case
flaunting
it's in.
it. Oh, nice. I can like hardly make out the red thing on the door. What is that?
red thing on the door.
Zoom in.
I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Oh, it must.
So just
Yeah, zoom in a bit more if you can.
I can't.
I'll survive.
I can't tell what it is.
Maybe it's Pikachu's cheeks.
I think it's
It looks like
looks
Penny's
like
writing or
foliage
something.
or something. I don't know.
Either way, cute.
Cute.
Should. If you want to start collecting Hot Wheels, you should, bro. When I send you guys mail, I'm gonna send all you guys mail eventually because I do got some stuff over here for you guys. I'll send all of you some Hot Wheels. I'm gonna send you some of my nicer shit, bro. I'll send Shug one of my fucking Shelby GT 500s. I'll do that.
Run a track through his whole house. That's funny.
The
Yeah.
kids are gonna be all over it.
I sent
That'd be badass,
You're
Shug.
my Shelby.
Nikita.
I'll send Eddie a reel of like a slow mo Hot Wheels like stunt thing going.
That looked pretty badass,
Yeah.
and it was like zoomed in. It looks all like realistic, and they're like flipping over
All
and
the
shit.
shit's
Yeah,
flying
dude.
up. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was badass. That's some production value, bro, right there. Nikita, no, come here, come here.
You guys want to call it early, or you got what? Anything?
Yeah, I'm down.
Send
Yeah,
us a
if you
real
guys
card.
want.
Whoa.
Clutch, I appreciate you being here. You cracked me up the whole time.
And Shug was in the chat the entire time. Appreciate you
Yeah.
picking the Yakuza over us. I know they gave you a Nintendo Switch too. You right now looking out for the
I'm gonna get
homies.
Shug, send me a picture of your tattoo so I can get just a mini one of the same tattoo, but like this big. That'd be nice. All right,
It was a
everybody.
pleasure.
Yeah.
To a
I do want
secret.
to thank
My bad.
everybody that was here in chat. Clutch the God, William Hill, Doug Harding, Lady Luck, thank you as well. Everybody that was here. I know Gonzo was here earlier. Who else am I missing? I feel like I'm missing somebody else.
Doug was here.
Let me scroll back. Oh no, I
No,
think
you
that's
got
it.
it.
So
Yeah, I got everybody. All right,
everybody.
sweet. We should be returning next week, Saturday, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. By the way, in 2 weeks, it will be my birthday. So Saturday, July 19th, I will be running a live stream on my channel,
Happy
a
birthday.
showcase. It will start at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's probably going to be like a 6-hour live
Oh,
stream.
man.
I'm going to open up a Glory of Team Rocket booster box, maybe a couple of the Chinese Gemstone Volume 2 boxes. Going to be hunting cards for my collection. I do plan on rating this podcast right after I'm done, though. So at 9, I'm going to rate this podcast with my lobby. So, guys, I'm letting y'all know already. We're going to have a little bit of a crowd that night for that Saturday. But I'm super excited. If anybody that watches this podcast now or watches it later wants to join us, again, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'll be hanging out, opening cards, chit-chatting, just doing, normal bullshit, having some blinky blinkies. And then, yes, I will be here for the podcast that night. It will be a fun one. Again, this was a fun episode. This was episode 21 of Beyond the Binder, the
21.
podcast series that we have here
21,
on Son
21.
of Merc's channel. Your podcast co-hosts are iFOMO, me, Base Showcase, and yes, Shug Nasty, who was here with us in the chat today. Every now and then, we also have AM/PM Pokemon, who you might have seen yesterday on Team Rocket Joey's live stream. Yes, he gave us a shout out. Team Rocket Joey, here's your shout out as well, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Thank you
Shout
very
out.
much for that.
Thanks,
All
brother.
did well. Yeah, that was a good live stream.
Oh yeah. Dude's a natural.
All right, guys.
And Nikita Raid, go ahead and end it now.